Welcome. Sorry, I had the microphone away from the laptop for a second there. Welcome to the finale of Let's Play Pokemon Fire Red. In this episode, viewers, I shall show you the Pokedex and all of the 162 Pokemon that I managed to catch. So I wasn't able to catch every Pokemon, obviously, not even finish the Kanto Pokedex, because you can't seem to figure out how to use this cheat system thingy to actually use it to, well, fill up the other part of the Pokedex, whatever the Kanto region, get version exclusive or evolving and stuff like that. So I just went, screw it, I'll get what I can. And let's start off with, even if we haven't caught them, we'll just show their Pokedex entry anyway. Bulbasaur. The seed Pokemon, there's a plant seed on its back. Right from the day this Pokemon is born, the seed slowly grows larger. Of course, area unknown. The seed Pokemon Ivysaur. There's a plant bulb on its back. When it absorbs nutrients, this bulb is said to blossom into a large flower. The seed Pokemon Venusaur. A bewitching aroma wafts from its flower. The fragrance becomes those engaged in a battle. Of course, these ones will have no information on them, really, because you can only get these as starter Pokemon, so unless you trade them, which obviously I can't do, there's no way of getting them. Kinda sucks, really. The worm Pokemon Caterpie. It is covered with a green skin. When it grows, it sheds the skin, covers itself with silk, and becomes a cocoon. And those are the locations you can find it. Metapod, the cocoon Pokemon. Even though it is encased in a sturdy shell, the body inside is tender. It can't withstand a harsh attack. And again, where you can find this Pokemon. The butterfly Pokemon Butterfree. The wings are protected by rain, repellent dust. As a result, this Pokemon can fly out even in rain. Of course, area unknown. You can only evolve it from a Metapod once it gets to level 10. So, it doesn't really take that long anyway. The hairy Pokemon Weedle. Why is it called a hairy Pokemon? Often found in forests and grasslands. It has a sharp toxic barb of around 2 inches on top of its head. And as you can see, same location really. Kakuna, the cocoon Pokemon. This Pokemon is a temporary stage. While making its body, it is almost completely unable to move on its own. Same locations. Beedrill, the poison Pokemon, may appear in a swarm. Flies at violent speeds, all the while stabbing with the toxic stingers on its rear. Of course, you can't find it in the wild. Can only evolve with a cocoon at level 10. Pidgey does not like to fight, the tiny Pokemon. It hides in tall grass and so on, foraging for food such as small bugs. Found in many locations, as you can see there. Pidgeotto, bird Pokemon. The claw on its feet are well developed. It can carry prey such as an executes to its nests over 60 miles away. There's its locations. And Pidgeot. It spreads its gorgeous wings widely to intimidate enemies. It races through the skies at Mach 2 speed or whatever. Mach 2 speed. Of course, you can't find Pidgeot in the wild, only evolve at level 36 from Pidgeotto. I think it was that level. I'll allow level 37. Rattata. Its fangs are long and very sharp. They grow continuously, so it gnaws on hard things to whittle them down. Its locations. Raticate. Its rear feet have 3 toes each. They are webbed, enabling it to swim across rivers. It actually has locations you can find Raticate. He's not like rare or anything really. Spearow. It busily it's around here and there. Even if it is frail, it can be a tough foe that uses Mirror Move. Many locations for Spearow. Firo, the one we used in our original main one. Its huge and magnificent wings can keep it aloft in the sky. It can remain flying a whole day without landing. It has locations you can find Firo in the wild, but evolve from Spear at level 20 if you can't be asked. But he's easy to find, honestly, viewers. A very common sight in grassland, etc. It flicks its tongue in and out to sense danger in its surroundings. There is its locations, only Fire Red exclusive, though, I might add. The pattern on its belly appears to be a frightening face. Weak foes will flee just at the sight of the pattern. You can find Arbok there as well. Pikachu. It has small electric sacs on both its cheeks. If threatened, it looses electric charges from the sacs. You can find it in those two locations. With the rarer one being Viridian Forest, of course. Raichu. Its electric charges can reach even 100,000 volts. Careless contact can cause even an Indian elephant to faint. Wait, there's Indian elephants in the world of Pokemon? Of course, you can only evolve Raichu using a Thunderstone from Pikachu. Sandshrew and Sandslash are Leaf Green exclusive. Nidoran female. Though small, it must be treated with caution because of its powerfully toxic barbs. The female has smaller horns. Locations. It is rarer in the Fire Red version, more common in the Leaf Green version, as is the same with the male version being more common in this version. Nidorina. The female has a gentle temperament. It emits ultrasonic cries that have the power to befuddle foes. Location, of course. Nidoqueen. The body is covered by stiff needle-like scales. If it becomes excited, the needles bristle outwards. Of course, you can only evolve from Nidorina with a Moonstone. Nidoran male. Its large ears are flapped like wings. When it is listening to distant sounds, it extends toxic barbs when angered. Locations. Nidorino. It is easily angered by swinging its well-developed horn wildly. It can even punch through diamond. Location. And we were unable to get Nidoking. We didn't have another Moonstone. Clefairy. Its adorable appearance makes it popular as a pet. However, it is rare and difficult to find. While that is true, you can also get it at the game corner. Clefable. It has an acute sense of hearing. It can easily hear a pin being dropped nearly 1,100 yards away. Only evolve from Clefairy with Moonstone. Vulpix and Ninetales are once again Leaf Green exclusive. So yeah, Vulpix evolves to Ninetales with a Firestone, of course. Jigglypuff. It captivates foes with its huge round eyes and lulls them to sleep by singing a soothing melody. You can only find it there. It's supposed to be uncommon, but I encountered it quite a few times. Wigglytuff. Its fur is extremely fine, dense and supple. The instantly pleasant fur conveys an image of luxury. Only evolve with Moonstone. Zubat! Like you really need to know where this guy is. It has no eyes. Instead, it relies on its ultrasonic cries for echolocation to flit around about in darkness. See many locations in caves. Golbat. It clamps down on its prey with needle-sharp fangs and drains over 10 ounces of blood in one gulp. Locations. Oddish. Its scientific name is Odium wondrous. Stupid. At night it is said to walk nearly 1,000 feet on its two roots. Many locations. I do believe this is version exclusive, so like Bellsprout you can find in Leaf Green, Oddish you can find in Fire Red, and in each one you don't get that Pokemon in the other version. Got that, viewers? Gloom. Its pistols exude an exude an incredibly foul odor. The horrid stench can cause fainting at a distance of 1.25 miles. Holy damn, that's horrible. Locations. Vileplume, its petals are the largest in the world. It fiendishly scatters allergies, causing pollen from its petals. Hey, I got hay fever, so this Pokemon is probably my biggest enemy. Can only evolve using a leaf stone. Paris. Growing out of the bug's back are mushrooms called Tokuhasaku or whatever. The mushrooms grow with the bug host. Locations. Parasect. It scatters toxic spores from the mushroom cap in China. The spores are used as herbal medicine. Anyway, the locations and stuff. And then that's it. Eyes act as radar, enabling it to be active in darkness. The eyes can also shoot powerful beams. Locations. Venomoth. The wings are covered with dust-like scales. Every time it flaps its wings, it loses, whatever, highly toxic dust. Locations. Diglett. It burrows through the ground at a shallow depth. It leaves raised earth in its wake, making it easy to spot. Location, of course, is the Diglett Cave. Same goes for Dugtrio here. In battle, it digs through the ground and strikes the unsuspecting foe from an unexpected direction. Same location as Diglett. Meowth. All it does is sleep during the daytime. At night, it patrols its territory with its eyes aglow. Locations many. Persian has a vicious temperament. Beware if it raises its tail straight up. It is a signal that it is about to pounce and bite. That's quite a few locations on the Sebi Islands. Psyduck. It is constantly racked by a headache. When the headache turns intense, it begins using mysterious powers. Many locations. If I recall, you can only get Psyduck and Golduck in Fire Red. I'm not entirely sure though. Golduck. The forelegs are webbed, helping to make it an adept swimmer. It can be seen swimming elegantly in lakes, etc. Has a few locations. I've only encountered it once, I think, and that was when I caught it. Mankey. Light and agile on its feet and ferocious in temperament. When angered, it flies into an uncontrollable frenzy. Locations. Primate. It is always outrageously furious. If it gives chase, it will tenaciously track the target no matter how far. Locations. Growlithe. Fire Red exclusive if I recall. Very friendly and faithful to people. It will try to repel enemies by barking and biting. Locations. I'm not entirely sure though. Arcanine, a Pokemon that is described in Chinese legends. It is said to race at an unbelievable speed. Only evolved from Growlithe with a Firestone. Poliwag. Its slick black skin is thin and damp. A part of its internal organs can be seen through the skin as a spiral pattern. Wait, what? That's its internal organs? Locations. Poliwhirl, its two legs are well developed. Even though it can live on the ground, it prefers living in water. Locations. Poliwrath. We never encountered a trainer that used this guy though. An adept swimmer, it knows the front crawl, butterfly and more. It is faster than the best human swimmers. Can only evolve with a water stone. Abra, it sleeps for 18 hours a day. It uses a variety of extrasensory powers even while asleep. Can be found there, but I'd recommend just getting Abra at the game corner. It's much easier. Because he only knows teleport in that area. It happened one morning. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into a Kadabra. What? That made no sense. Can only be found there. But of course you could always evolve Abra. To evolve to Alakazam you need to trade Kadabra, and I couldn't do that obviously. With Chop, its whole body is composed of muscles. Even though it's the size of a human child, it can hurl 100 grown-ups. Locations. Machoke. Its formidable body never gets tired. It helps people by doing work such as the moving of heavy goods. Locations. Machamp is the same as Alakazam, you need to trade Machoke to get. Bellsprout, as I said, is Leaf Green exclusive, so that makes Weeping Bell also exclusive. And Victory Bell exclusive, that needs Leaf Stone to evolve. Tentacool, its eyes are as transparent as crystals. From them it shoots mysterious beams of light. Can be found pretty much anywhere on water. Tentacruel. It has 80 tentacles that move about freely. They can sting, causing poisoning and sharp stabbing pain. Locations. It's kind of rare compared to Tentacool, obviously. Geodude. Its round form makes it easy to pick up. Some people have used this to hurl at each other in a snowball fight. What? You can't use a Geodude in a snowball fight, that's insane! Locations. Quite easy to find, of course. Be careful while hiking on mountain trails. Graveler may come rolling down a path without slowing. He's kind of rare. Well, probably not that rare once you get later in the game, I suppose. Golem can only be evolved by trading. Damn those stupid annoying things. Ponyta, its body is light and its legs are incredibly powerful. It can clear Ayers Rock in one leap. Location. Only on one island, of course. Rapidash, it can gallop to a top speed of 150 miles per hour. It can race as fast as a bullet, train while ablaze. I didn't know you could find Rapidash in the wild, but evolve at, I think, level 40. Slowpoke, another Leaf Green exclusive, along with Slowbro. You evolve him at a certain level, I can't remember what it was, though. Magnemite. It moves while constantly hovering. It discharges Thunder Wave and so on from the units at its sides. Location. Magneton. A link cluster formed of several Magnemite. It discharges powerful magnetic waves at high voltage. Locations. Farfetch'd. It always walks about with a plant stalk clamped in its beak. The stalk is used for building its nest. Can only trade it with a Spearow to a girl in Vermilion City. Just to point that out. Dodio, a two-headed Pokemon that was discovered as a sudden mutation. It runs at a pace of over 60 miles per hour. Locations. Dodrio, an odd species that is rarely found. The three heads respectively represent joy, sadness, and anger. Can only evolve from Dodio at level 31 or level 32, around about those levels. Seal, I'm not sure if he's Fire Red exclusive or if he's in both, but whatever. Covered with light blue fur, its hide is thick and tough. It is active in bitter cold of minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Locations. Dugong. Its body is covered with a pure white fur. The colder the weather, the more active it becomes. Locations. Probably rare, but it's somewhere between level 30 and 37 or something like that you evolve to Dugong from Seal. Grimer. Sludge exposed to X-rays from the moon transformed into Grimer. It loves feeding on filthy things. Locations. I don't get why it says in Celadon City though. I've never seen any grass there. Who knows? Muck. It is usually undetectable because it blends in with the ground. Touching it can cause terrible poisoning. I think you can actually find this guy in the Leaf Green version, but in this version, level 38 for Greymon, it will evolve to Muck. Shelder. It is encased in a shell that is harder than diamond. Inside, however, it is surprisingly tender. I think this is also a Fire Red exclusive. Locations. Cloyster. Its shell is extremely hard. It cannot be shattered. Even with a bomb, the shell opens only when it is attacking. Only evolve with a water stone. Ghastly, a being that exists as a thin gas. It can topple an Indian elephant. Here we go again with that. By enveloping the prey in 2 seconds. Locations. Hunter. If you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when nobody is around, Hunter is there. Locations. And Gengar, of course, we couldn't get because it's another one you have to trade a hunter to get. Onyx, it usually lives underground. It searches for food while boring its way through the ground at 50 miles per hour. Locations. Drowsy, a descendant of the legendary animal Baku, which is said to eat dreams. It is skilled at hypnotism. Locations. I shall be right back a second. Being careful with the recording here, because if it goes on for too long, then I think that the video will just get all screwy with lag. So I have to put in another part. Hypno, it carries a pendulum-like device. There once was an incident in which it took away a child it hypnotized. Location. Best to get it when you save Lostel. Krabby, it can be found near the sea. The large pincers grow back if they are torn out of their sockets. It has many locations, but I kept getting horsey every time I tried fishing for it, so use a good rod instead of the super rod. You might get Magikarp, but Krabby's much easier to get that way, I think, anyway. Kingler, its large and hard pincer has 10,000 horsepower strength. However, being so big, it is unwieldy to move. I can't remember what level to evolve from Krabby, but not as far as level 40, that's all I can recall. Or level 38, not that far. I can't remember. Voltorb, a life form whose identity is unknown. It is said to screech or suddenly self-destruct. Location. Electrode, it explodes in response to even minor stimuli. It is feared with the nickname of the Bomb Ball. Now, while it says that it can only be found there, that is not true. You can find it in the power plant 2 times by clicking on these Pokeball things that you think would be items. Execute. Even though it appears to be eggs of some sort, it was discovered to be a life form, more like plant seeds. Location. Executor. It is called a walking tropical rainforest. Each of the nuts has a face and a will of its own. Only evolve using a leaf stone on Execute. Cubone. It wears the skull of its dead mother on its head. When it becomes lonesome, it is said to cry loudly. Locations. So wait, if Cubone has that, then I don't even know. I suppose when he becomes a Marowak, he has a new skull. Marowak. It is small and was originally very weak. Its temperament turned ferocious when it began using bones. Locations. Even though it said it was supposed to be extinct, which it was just a lie. Hitmonlee. I could have probably got Hitmonlee if my Tyog that I was raising had higher attack stats, but no such luck. So I said screw it. Hitmonchan, the spirit of a pro boxer, has infused this Pokemon. It throws punches and are faster than a bullet train. Of course, for Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, fighting dojo in Saffron City. Once you defeat the leader, you will get a choice between Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. Lickitung. Its tongue is twice the length of its body. It can be moved like an arm for grabbing food and attacking. Can only trade a Golduck for it. If I recall, I can't remember which one it was. It was in one of those buildings that you have to go past to get to another location. You know, the ones that have the little stair thing going up. Coughing. Its thin balloon-like body is inflated by horribly toxic gases. It reeks when it is nearby. Locations. Wheezing. Very rarely, a sudden mutation can result in 2 small coughing twins becoming conjoined as a wheezing. Bullshit. That's what happens when a coughing evolves anyway. Location. Rhyhorn. Strong but not too bright. This Pokemon can shatter even a skyscraper with its charging tackles. Location. Rhydon. It begins walking on its hind legs after evolution. It can punch holes through boulders with its horn. I think it was one of the 2 last Pokemon I evolved. Seriously. You evolve at like level 43 or 42.